Hi, this is Steve O'Mooney, and you're listening to another production of the Four-Eyed Radio Network at foureyeradio.com.
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Another week of Appropriately Inappropriate. We are staring episode 100 in the face. That'll be next week. This week we have episode 99. To get started here, my name is Kevin Elliott. I'm one of your two co-hosts of the Appropriately Inappropriate podcast. The other co-host is Nancy Garrigus. You can follow Nancy on Instagram at @ngarrigus, and you can follow me on everything that is social media at I am Kevin Elliott. We have two super awesome, super fun guests coming in this week, Richie Martin and Aaron Kyle Miles. They've both been on the show before. We have talked at length about kind of comedy between them, and we're going to do a little bit of the same again this week, but we're going to break down a bit from each of their acts that we've been doing lately with each of our guests. And I also asked these guys to come with some stories about child mischief, stuff they got into when they were kids. Maybe got into trouble, maybe didn't get caught. I don't know. But I love those stories, man. So we're going to try and break into those and have some fun. And I know we're going to share a lot of laughs because these two guys are a lot of fun to hang out with and just kind of talk with. So without further ado, let's get episode 99 started.
This is special what's happening to all my soldiers over there in Iraq. Everybody right here. What you need to do is be thankful for the life you got, you know what I'm saying? Stop looking at what you ain't got, start being thankful for what you do got. Let's get it to 'em, baby girl. Hey, hey, that's right.
Damn it. Because I like starting very, organic.
Casually.
And we're like,
casual.
so what are we talking
We're
about?
just vaping here.
Yeah, we're just
sitting
talking
here
about vaping.
It is a
and
healthy alternative.
Can I
It-
second-hand vape?
Yeah, like you want to smell it or something?
No, but is it
Oh,
dangerous?
you mean? Oh, I thought you were asking
No, I don't.
can you blow that in my face?
I don't ever ask anyone to blow anything in my face.
Studies are
Just Nancy's face, though.
First
right.
Hey, man, you want to blow that
Fine.
Nancy's face?
Don't blow that.
everyone has their preference. I don't know. I think I actually read up on it because I was like, am I just quitting one bad habit to start another? And there's nothing really to show yet that it's worse.
You're a test group.
And you're at the very least, you're not getting all of the other shit that's in cigarettes, right? So
And you can do it in the movies.
you can,
I've
which
seen
is cool.
Also, what is that? That's a tobacco vape, right?
It's nicotine.
They also make
What is
them
that?
But
for
What's that mean?
marijuana.
So you're
So-
addicted to that.
So I quit.
And by the way, when we say that, Richie has a vape
vaporizer.
thing.
Yeah, I feel like I
don't
feel
know
like
how to
kind of a
explain
douche
it.
for having it, but I like it.
Looks like the Empire
And-
State Building.
It's like a flask.
Kind of. Yes.
Tiny
It looks
flask.
like a tiny flask of nicotine.
Yep.
I like it.
So it's just got like all this little liquid up here, and this is called leprechaun juice. It's like real
Ooh.
fruity, and
Much like yourself.
So am I addicted to this? So what I'm gonna do is I'm selling like the first bottle of shit that I bought, and then the next one I'm gonna buy like a level lower on nicotine, and then the next one I'm just gonna do none.
Is it cheaper than cigarettes?
Yeah, so I paid like $75 for this thing.
It's for itself.
Well, I mean, but I'm not, yeah. Well, it's like it would be better if I just didn't fucking do it. Just getting
Fuck. I haven't laughed
ridiculed
like
out
that
of
in
the
a
gate.
long time.
Kevin laughed so hard he coughed up beer.
Kevin just
That
likes
was
it when
awesome.
I'm
Wait,
when I'm
so
feeling
does it make a
dejected.
noise
No.
when you do it?
Not really. I mean, it kind of whistles with the air going in,
Oh,
but
that's kind of cool.
Wow, it really does.
Wait.
That was me.
It's vaping right here in the studio.
yep.
I
It's
just
water.
secondhand
It's just
vaped.
vapor.
Can I try it? Will that do anything to me, or will it just...
Don't get sick.
I'm not going to get... Come on, Nancy. I'm sick! I'm sick! I'm sick! Oh, God!
So sick.
Is that your
It
first
smells.
time?
With a with a
fruity.
nicotine thingy.
Yeah.
You guys set the fire alarm off in here.
No,
it's
it's
vapor.
gone.
It's just
It's
vapor,
vapor.
you
It's
know?
gone.
But yeah.
But so
That's
you
my
go
lesson.
from
Sounds like a
smoking, you
crack
get
rock.
off smoking to get to that thing, but that thing is addictive too.
Well, so the one thing that I
But
can
you
say
lower
about
it
this
level
is
by
that,
level.
is that I feel so much fucking better than
That's
when I'm
good.
smoking like a pack a day, because I was a pack a day smoker.
Jesus,
Yeah.
man.
It's like
Yeah.
That's
heroin. You
insane.
just shoot it with
Dude,
nothing
take a
but the
couple
needle.
breaks throughout the day. You go home, have a smoke, or
something
two.
to do.
I got into a habit of just like smoking a couple
Two
back
at a
to
time?
back. Yeah, and it's just like it's so fucking much. So like it's easier for me to fall asleep. Breathing is easier. Like everything is easier.
I'll tell you this,
Which is-
me, the most relaxing thing I ever do in my entire life is I sit in my backyard, I grab a beer, and I smoke a cigar. And
Yeah.
I'm never
nice.
more relaxed in my life. That every time I do it, it's like maybe 3 or 4 months in between that I do it, and every time I'm like, dude, my life is fucking awesome. This is the shit right now. No one can take this moment away from me.
And I
This
felt
is
like
incredible.
that 20 times a day, every
It's like
day.
giving yourself a little break. But have you ever noticed how much extra time out of your day you waste just from doing that? And the people
Yeah.
who don't smoke have to like wait for you.
Well, and
it's
money.
like- oh,
and
yeah.
it's like
How much is a pack of cigarettes?
like 7.
Are you
and
shitting
change.
Holy
Yeah, no,
shit.
I'm not.
So they're probably
Just
like
every day, I was just
20
like
bucks
paying.
a
Aaron, what are you
cigar.
doing, man?
For,
Just taking a quick picture. Are you okay with that?
No, you're cool. I'm gonna periscope in a second.
So if you're at a bar, a pack of cigarettes is probably like $20 because you know how it's
yeah,
like,
I mean, you just don't buy
Right.
because I've done that before where I'm really drunk and I just like I don't have any. I don't want to bum them from anybody anymore.
yeah,
So I'll just like please, if you have a pack of cigarettes there, give it to me.
yeah, and it's
Just, like,
never the kind
like
you
hand
want,
them a
right?
20.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like Marlboro Lights or something. And I'm a camel man, so
the worst. I don't know. I don't smoke.
What about you, Aaron? Are you smoking?
I don't smoke the mechanical, but I mean once every while I'll do a black and mild, which
What's
is
that?
It's like a cigar. It's like
it's a homeless person cigar.
yeah. They're like $1.50.
Really?
It goes
But
with
I started smoking because I just be out, with the comics, and they all smoke cigarettes for the most
were
part.
just-
Nancy and I were
talking
just
about
talking about that before you guys got here.
What's that?
Well, she said, what did you say?
Well, we don't smoke, and every time I'm hanging out with the comedy buddies, I notice everyone's outside smoking. And I was
Yeah.
asking Kevin, what is it like? Everybody in comedy industry seems to smoke, and he doesn't. So
Yeah,
it's like he doesn't fit in because of it.
You really don't. You really
He's always got a beer though, so it kind of honestly.
He gets shamed for not smoking.
yeah, it's gonna be hard because I mean, being around like comedians all the time and everybody smokes.
You could vape.
It's gonna be hard.
No, I won't do any of that. I've never thought anything about it because for me, people have always smoked and I've just never done it. So
You're
I've been
so
around
pure.
it. Yeah, but I've been around it and it's like whatever, man. You guys do your thing.
So this
Nobody
is
gets
gonna
mad that
get
I'm
you
not
off
bumming
smoking.
cigarettes off of
Right.
them.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, so like I said, eventually like I just won't have the nicotine in here anymore. And then the only thing that's enjoyable is just, like the
fruity
vapor,
flavor.
The fruity flavor and kind of like the ritual of like I still will take breaks at work and go outside and puff on this
Well,
for
it's got to be better than cigarettes
10 minutes.
for you.
Yeah,
I
mean, like,
imagine since it's like water vapor, it would be like mold spores in
well, and
your
it's
lungs.
not you're not really combusting anything and then breathing that smoke into your
for you.
lungs.
Yeah, it's
so
a little healthier.
plus like it makes it way easier. I just
You
start
have to
working
plug
out.
that thing into a wall and charge it.
I plug it into my computer.
Very good.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a little USB cable.
Is that for real? You have to
cool.
charge it?
Yeah. Dude, because like it has to heat up somehow. Right?
shit,
To
I had
vaporize the
no
shit.
idea.
It's got a little battery meter on
Ball
here.
and chain.
Whoa.
You can change the voltage and such.
It's awesome.
Isn't that magical?
Yeah, actually, it's pretty cool.
So yeah, that is.
And the flavor you
truth of
chose
this.
was Fruity Fun, or what is it?
Fruity Pebbles.
Lucky.
Lucky Charms.
Leprechaun.
Sorry, I was just reading
Juice.
from my
Leprechaun
pantry.
juice.
What are the other
That's what it
flavors?
So
Heart,
the place
stars,
that
and
I went
horseshoes?
into is like it was just a vape store,
Mm-hmm.
and there was just like a whole wall of flavors and everything you could possibly ever imagine. So I'm
Okay.
excited to dabble.
Hey, why not? And
You
people
know?
smoke like weed and stuff out of those, right?
Yeah, you can do that, and I might not
Do that.
do that. I might though.
Hey, whatever you're into.
I don't know.
Either way.
Judge.
I just forget that other people hear this, and I'm a professional. So
Us too.
I'm well respected.
Guys, all right, where can
Different
people,
circles.
first of all, introduce yourself now and shoot off all social media where people can follow you, find you, shows, anything you want to promote in your life.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, a little fun fact. I'm actually on this podcast after unintentionally ignoring mine, which is Talk Ramen.
Oh, shit, tonight?
I guess, yeah, Mark Mark just texted me, and he's like, hey, where are you? At your house. And he's having...
They're recording at your house.
he's having... Well, no one told me.
Hilarious.
No one told me.
Honestly, though,
Always
after working with the Talk Ramen crew,
Yeah.
who I love and respect,
I do
greatly,
too, yeah.
Aaron's story is completely plausible that he wasn't informed that the podcast
sure,
was being
dude.
recorded at his own house.
For sure.
Very possible.
Because they were messaging me,
believe
like,
it.
they were like, oh, who do we want to have on next? And we're talking about it and stuff. And they're like, all right, we'll figure it out next week. And then just out of the blue, hey, where are you? I'm like, because if we do have a podcast, it's usually on Friday. So it's,
Right, you can't just assume everyone knows you're changing it.
I don't know.
That's
But
all right.
anyways,
Either
hashtag
way, Aaron's on a podcast called Talk Ramen.
Talk Ramen. Not this
Richie-
episode. Not
yeah, that's right.
Not the most recent
Richie
one.
and I have both been on it. It's fun, man. It's a good comedy podcast with comics.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I listened to Richie's.
Dude.
Richie's was a good time, dude.
It's
fun.
always
Thank
fun.
you.
I enjoy it a lot. That was my first time ever
Aaron just
doing
got to
the
do one
podcast.
with Adam Ray.
You were on that
who
one
is-
too,
I
man.
was,
Yeah.
and but
That's
the
right.
cool thing about that is that Adam Ray is the guy who inspired Aaron to start doing comedy.
It's pretty cool, man. Full circle.
Yeah,
He
I
got
was-
to do a podcast with him, and then Adam asked him to fucking open.
How cool is
for
that,
him on
man?
Sunday.
I had no words. I was just like, I just shaking my head.
He's one of the coolest dudes. Not in comedy. He's one of the coolest dudes
he's
ever.
just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
He really is, man. He's one of the nicest dudes for me I've ever met in general. Just like will fucking do anything for anybody. He's
Just
cool
a lot
as
of
shit.
times with headliners, it's easy to feel like you're imposing when you ask them to do something like that.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just
yeah.
Genuinely was like having a good time, and which is always cool, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, when I would talk to
Kudos
him,
to you, Adam.
he was still just featuring. He was still just grinding, dude. Like, no one was talking to him after shows and stuff. That's why I talked to him, because he was just by himself. And I was like, you're hilarious. You're just by yourself? And he was just like, yeah, just trying to make ends meet, just trying to get my name out there. And now here he is. Fucking hard worker, man.
Getting it in.
Also, I'll plug, I'm at Sam Scottsdale July 9th through July 12th. I'll plug that, too. Cause that's
With Bronger?
yeah.
Killer, dude.
It's an awesome weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be an
That's it for me.
insane weekend. Insane! Holy shit! It's
gonna be wild!
Control myself! Oh my god! Insane! Richie?
Yeah. I am Richie Martin. You might know me as Richard David Martin III.
You might.
Esquire.
If you're his parents.
Yeah. You can find me on the Pitch Please podcast, which I
Yeah!
recommend that you listen to and subscribe to. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Richie's Got Jokes.
He
That's
does.
Richie's with an S, no T in Richie. Don't fucking do that. You can find my portfolio if you'd like to hire me at richiewritestuff.com and my blog at richrants.com. You're welcome in advance for the engaging content.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that you have so much stuff.
I'm trying to diversify.
I do, though.
Trying
I
to
like
diversify
that.
my bonds. I want to start getting some videos going and just like really
What kind of
encouraging.
videos?
Well, look.
I just want to. Sorry, please go ahead.
Well, no, you're the guest.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, like, I think there's a lot of cool, smart, funny people out here, and we should allow the rest of the world outside of Arizona to be graced with our entertainment.
So Richie was before he became a judge on Pitch Please, he was a contestant.
Yep.
And his business pitch was incredible. But it was too legitimate to work
Like
for the
a
show
real
we're
undertaking.
yeah,
and such.
we're very satirical on the show where it's like, okay, you have a good business idea.
It's about
fuck
the
you.
comedy.
Yeah,
It's about the comedy.
You got to
Yeah.
make it funny and absurd. Richie's was too real, and I loved it. And that's what I feel like you're doing now is you're kind of putting what you pitch there into play, but for you,
I want to, yeah.
right? And then hopefully grow it from there to help everybody once you get helped. Because
Yeah,
you're selfish
well-
in a sense.
I mean, everyone should be selfish in a sense, right? Like, you got to look out.
I'm selfish
you gotta look out for
because
you.
I want you to make this happen now so I can put stuff on it.
That's perfectly reasonable in a really roundabout way. But I'll allow it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people here who deserve to get their shine on, and I want to do that for myself, but it would be cool if find a way to enable that for others.
Sure, dude. Sure.
Sharing is caring.
There's been a lot of people. I'm not gonna. Nobody gives a shit.
All right.
I was gonna go one way, and I'm like, nobody cares.
Let's shift it up.
I do want to shift it up because one thing I told both of you, I said I want childhood mischief stories. You got caught doing something bad. You never got caught. You want to admit it. Something that you did that's a funny story. I don't give a shit, man. These are the stories I live for. Nancy, do you live for them? Because you were a terrible kid.
Were you really?
She was way worse than me, and I was not bad at all.
I was bad until recently. It's like recently.
You just straightened out.
Now.
Cleaned your act up.
Just a few months ago.
Good for you. I'm very happy for you. I'm working on that as well.
It's overrated.
Yeah.
She still slips up every once in a while.
It's okay.
This is true.
Funny story. I just started seeing. I don't give a fuck about this. I just started seeing a therapist, and this is the plaza.
I don't give a fuck.
Normally
the
that
plaza.
stays in the room.
No, I don't give a. I don't really
This is a
give a
safe
shit.
place.
I wrote about it. If you
I
go to my
know. Yeah,
blog,
no, I
you
know.
can. I don't give a shit. That's for a reason. But yeah, I was driving in, and I was like, I know this route, and I was like, is this a trick? Like, is this an intervention of some sort? Like, you're not supposed to. Is that not a thing you tell people? Is that a faux pas?
What?
Telling people that you that's a thing?
Did you have a therapist?
Yeah.
No,
I think
that's
it's
fine.
All right. Because you guys just got real cold towards me.
I laughed because you said I
Because you're laughing at me?
Because your first thing you go, I got a therapist and I don't give a fuck.
Oh
That's
no,
what you
I don't
said.
give a
I was
fuck
like,
about
what?
saying
All right.
it and then
Floor
you
is
guys are
yours.
like,
Oh.
Well, it's
You
just
guys
not
are
a
like,
childhood mischief story.
no, it's not. But I'm
I mean, unless you had it
because of
for.
the childhood
Sit on this
mischief.
couch.
You know what I mean? It's a good transition.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I wish I had a
Cold
therapist
That was all bullshit.
just so I could tell people, like, oh, I would love to help you move, but I have my therapy appointment. So
I did therapy not that long ago, and I feel like I kept talking myself out of whatever I was there for.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, this is what's wrong, and then I was like, well, but it's because, and I was fine by the time I was done. I was like, I'm done here.
I'm just riding the wave,
Yeah,
and
enjoy
just
it.
yeah, that's all it is.
Sure,
It's
there's
just
air conditioning
it's
in
just
there.
like a person to talk to who understands how brains work.
But they
'Cause
don't
brains are
give you
fucking weird.
advice. They just make you figure it out
Like lead.
yourself.
Well, it's like
And I kind of feel like I'm paying you.
it's hard.
Like,
well,
tell me what
it's
to do.
watching
hard to
tennis.
accept that, but it fucking works.
Periscoping. Conversation goes back and forth, dude, and I feel like we're watching tennis. Nancy, guests. Nancy.
Yes.
And then the people just listen to the podcast like, yeah, what the fuck, man? I don't give a shit.
Back
So,
to
Dude,
again,
it's
what
not
were you
much.
saying?
I
Does
wasn't.
your
I wasn't
therapist
saying
let you vape
anything
in her
important.
office? Oh, is it
No.
a female or a male?
It's a she.
They always are.
She's a male.
It's a she.
Female.
She's a he, and
That's
he is a sweetheart, real sweetheart.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it your first time seeing her?
It's been like a month.
Okay,
or so.
cool.
So
You
it's,
go
it's
once a
like
week,
recent
twice a
thing.
week?
Once a week, keeping it casual. Just trying to talk some shit out, and it's if you're on the fence about it and you think it might help you out, just fucking do it. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your brain like you take care of
No,
your
dude.
body.
Honestly,
Seriously,
it's-
it's fucking dumb that's a weird thing for guys. It's your brain. Like if your dick was falling off,
Go to
you would
the
go to a
doctor.
doctor and be like, "Hey, my dick is falling off," and it's just like, "Hey, my brain is split in two. Can you help me figure out how to stitch it back
it's
together?"
also very cathartic when you go and you're just like, literally, I can tell this person anything because I don't give a shit.
And legally, they can't tell anybody else.
Yeah, but
at
you
all.
can tell everybody you want.
You can on the internet.
So, all right, let's lead this in now. Childhood mischief. What have we got going on with you guys? The second I say that, you start checking your phones.
Well,
You write down
I'm
notes.
listening.
Do you
I
not
want Aaron-
remember your
I'm listening.
I want
childhood?
Aaron to go first.
I mean, I have something I could tell you because I used to ditch school a lot.
Statute of limitations is lifted.
Okay. So one time I ditched school, and
Oh, this is good.
so I was with this one other kid, and we ditched school, and halfway through the day, we were like, what are we doing? It's just, there was nothing to do, there was nothing on TV, so I went to school, and immediately they pulled us in the principal's office, and they were like, hey, why'd you ditch school? Like, why are you so late? And I didn't want to get in trouble, and I was the only child, so my whole goal was to like lie myself out of anything. And I was like, oh, we were attacked, like coming to school in the morning. So we waited for a while before it was safe. And that was just the wrong thing to say, because they were like, what do you mean you were attacked? Like, what happened? And so I was like, well, this kid that we knew in the apartment complex over. So there was our apartment complex, which was like okay. But then like the next apartments over were like ghetto.
No.
Yeah, don't go there.
And to solidify that, the kid that I'm referring to, his name was Cutty.
Oh.
Cutty.
Oh, so close to kid.
Yeah, so close. He was not a kid, but he was still in high school.
Man child.
And so I just told the principal, I was like, hey, this kid, Cuddy, he had a knife, and he told us if we went to school, he was going to stab us. So it got real. And the principal was like, okay, well, we're going to figure some things out, and you're probably going to end up being fucked, right? Well, they went to find Cuddy at the school that he went to, because I was in middle school and he was in high school, and he wasn't there. He didn't go to school that day. So they were like, okay, this is starting to make more sense. What was he wearing? So I told him, I was like, he was wearing a blue shirt and like jeans, and I think he had a hat, you know? And so they looked for him, and they found him, and he was wearing a blue shirt, jeans, and he was wearing some fucking hat or like something. And so they were like, all right, well, you're free to go. Go to fucking PE, little one. And Cuddy, I don't know what happened to him. I never saw him again, but I can just imagine they like
Still in prison.
they picked him up and they were like, hey, fucking meets the description, this piece of shit. Like, where's the knife, Cuddy? And he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He probably had a knife on him, too.
He probably did. His name was Cuddy.
That's awesome.
True story. And I never got in trouble for that, at least for that day.
I like how as a kid you just thought like you were just gonna tell him that you got like attacked by an older man with a knife, and they were just gonna be like, okay, but you're safe now, so I guess you can go to class. We're glad you're okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just like,
Why?
yeah, we'll just build this lie into a snowball and just see how I can get out of it. And
You did.
I don't know. Yeah,
Shit.
I never told my mom that story. I never told
I'm just
anyone
kidding.
because I was just embarrassed. I was like,
Well,
I feel
your
like
mom is an avid listener, man. So say what's up to her. She's
Hey,
not
Mom.
heard the story.
I already texted her, so she knows.
oh, yeah. Is she your therapist?
She's on Periscope.
Oh, that's right, dude. That's right. Aaron's mom. Therapies. Is that the word? Therapies?
Dude, I'm very
Therapy?
Prisoners?
And now
Don't
I'm
talk about her.
pissed.
I forgot.
She's my mom,
You
Richie.
don't know her.
All right, Richie, you got something?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple that like in my head I'm trying to.
By the way, just a heads up, Brian Vallona's watching, and
Is
I
he?
know you're up against him in the
In
roast.
the snap battles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So be careful, man.
Okay.
Actually, you want me to end it so he doesn't have juice on you?
No, I want him to have as much juice as possible because he really needs it. And
Oh wow!
deserves it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
He's probably sitting at home right now playing Madden while
boy.
listening to this.
Fuckboy, don't touch my Xbox or my turkey.
Or my turkey.
Oh, I love it.
Stories. Which one? Okay, do you want to hear an injury story? A party story?
Party.
You want the party story?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Every
wait,
time.
I want to hear all the options. You were gonna
Injury
name-
story, party story, or cheating story?
Do
Party.
you get caught? in
I
the
literally
cheating
want
story?
all
Yes.
three.
He gets caught. Let's hear the cheating story.
All right, here we go.
He gets
All right,
caught.
so
I want
was
this.
We're going cheating story.
Third grade.
Ooh, man, you slept with your teacher and the husband found out?
Yeah.
Or wait, the wife found out?
It's
Either way.
cheating. It's not cheating as in like cheating on somebody.
I
Cheating
got
on a
you.
test.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
So, do you want to reconsider your?
No, I like third
I
grade.
like it,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's third grade. I'm just a little rich, just a little rich boy.
I see what he's doing.
Yeah, Mrs. Hedrick's class.
What a
Mrs. Hedrick,
sweetheart.
still one of my biggest influences. If you're listening, Mrs. Hedrick, thank you for everything. You're not. I'm not even sure if you're still alive, to be completely honest, because you were pretty old when you were my teacher in third grade. So,
Just giggles.
yeah. Hope you're okay.
Rest in peace. Oh.
So, part of the third grade curricula, whatever the fuck it is, was states and capitals. And we had to memorize all 50 states and capitals.
Wasn't there a song about that?
For the states, there was.
Is there for the states?
For
I don't
us.
think for the capitals.
Yeah, not for the capital.
50 nifty United. So,
How's that go again?
50 nifty United States. blah 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 blah.
Ours was different. It was even on the radio.
Our song actually had words.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And states.
I just know like the general noises, tones, and cadence.
Ours was Alabama and Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas,
Yeah.
California, Colorado, Connecticut, more Delaware, Florida, Georgia,
still
Hawaii,
know?
Idaho,
You still know?
Illinois,
Wow.
Indiana, Iowa. Still 35 to go.
That's how we learned the states.
No, after that, I don't know.
So,
I can
I
name
was
them. I
done at
can't do them in the
Delaware,
song,
so.
though.
so she split them up into like 3 different tests. So we did like the middle of the country, the East Coast, and then the West Coast. And I think it was the East Coast test. And I remember sitting in class, and the teacher was like, "Okay, time for the states and capitals test," and everyone was like, "Okay," and I was like, "What states and capitals test? Do not
I hate
even.
that.
I have
That's the worst
no."
feeling.
What was it, your
This is
first day
literally
at a
the
new school?
First idea. No, I went. This is the school I went to from like pre-K to 6th grade. So she's like, "Time for the states and capitals test." I'm like, I have no fucking idea what this is about.
I don't even know what that's about
No
today.
recollection of her saying that was going to happen. Probably because I was a piece of shit around that time. But
Third grade,
I was
slanging rock.
real shithead, just a real low life scumbag. So we get the test and like forget knowing all the capitals. Like I don't even know some of these states. That's not true. I was really smart as a child, just very lazy, and so I was like, Miss Hetrick, I am gonna just start throwing up everywhere. I gotta go home. I'm sick.
Without throwing up.
I just know it's coming.
I'm like, I gotta go.
He's like,
And
I'm
she's
about
like-
to do it, dude. I
This is
gotta
just kind of like setting the
take
tone.
off.
So she's like, okay, call your dad, go home, and you can just take this test tomorrow.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. I wouldn't have fucking studied even. All right, so my dad comes and he picks me up, and I get in the car, and like I'm fine, of course. And he's like, so what's the deal? Did you have a test today or something? Because fucking parents know. And I was like,
He doesn't even give a shit.
He's like, you're not fucking sick. What test did you have today? And I was like, states and capitals test. He's like, oh yeah, what states? And I was like, the East Coast. And he starts like listing off states, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
know.
he's
I don't
fucking
know. I don't
40
know.
years
I don't know.
old.
I don't know. I don't know. So he's like, all right, all you're gonna do tonight is study for this test, and you're coming back to school tomorrow, and you're taking this test. And I was like, fine. So we build like a little sheet, right? All the states on one side, all the capitals on the other. I study all night, feeling pretty confident. Next day comes, I'm like forgetting some, super nervous because I know I have to take this test. So my little 3rd grade brain, I'm like, I'm going to do something brilliant. I'm just going to slip this paper underneath my desk, right? And she'll never notice because what I'm going to do is just drop my pencil over and over again. Anytime I need an answer, go underneath the desk, look at the answers, and then pop back up, and boom, I have all the answers
Oh
ready.
my.
So I did that like 3 times before, like, I guess she was looking at me the whole time, just like, what is this fucking idiot doing?
It's a fuckboy
I
right
was
here.
the only one taking the test. Because everyone else took it the day before.
I just picture the room's just empty, like they're all on holiday break, and he's just like,
"Whoa."
What I picture. I am so clumsy.
Eventually she's like, Richie, what are you doing? And I was like, I dropped my pencil. And she's like, no, why are the answers underneath your desk? Are you cheating? She didn't even get up from her desk to see them. She could just see them from her desk. And so she was like, okay, well, you're in fucking trouble because your parents are going to murder you. She didn't say that, but I knew that.
That's what it sounded
put
like.
2 and 2
That's
together.
what you heard.
Yeah, so I went home. My parents were so pissed off. I go and she lets me even retake the test again.
Wow, what a nice lady.
Yeah.
But it's 3rd grade, too. It's
3rd
like,
grade. It's like,
I don't
how
want
strict-
this fucker back in my
But she's
class.
like, you only get 50% of the score. And I ended up getting like a 98% on it. I missed like one of them. And I was grounded. Listen to this. What's the worst punishment you can think of for a kid?
Okay.
My
Like
parents
think
grounded me for Halloween once.
Okay, but you're
That
a
was
parent.
it.
That's
that was it.
Oh, that was it?
Dude,
You nailed
I got
it?
grounded for Halloween.
Oh,
What?
that hurts my heart.
In 3rd grade.
you didn't get to dress up or go get candy or.
I stayed at home with my mom and passed out candy.
Oh, that's the worst.
All right, but
we
let me
might
ask
not
you,
have
because
even
I've heard...
passed out candy. And she didn't even let me watch the Spurs game.
Oh!
Beginning of the fucking season.
What? Game
Yeah.
At least there is a good ending to this story.
All right, hey, Periscopers, to hear the rest, download the podcast this Sunday. All right, see you.
Oh, hey, one thing I wanted to promote too, because you kind of are you still periscoping me for this part? Okay, Freaky Friday show. That Freaky Friday show. I'm going to be doing Richie Martin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
When you
man.
all
That's
beat
gonna
each
be
other?
fun.
Can't wait. Yeah, July. So Friday. After this comes out Sunday. So Friday, stand up Scottsdale in the
this Friday?
Taffy Room.
It's next
Not-
Friday.
Next.
Okay.
Yeah. But when this comes out, it will be this coming Friday.
Yeah.
Freaky Friday show where every comic that goes up is doing another comics material as that person. So it's just going to be really mean, but funny for everybody except for the person that's
No, I'm
getting
going to
made
do
fun
Brian
of.
Bologna's jokes better than Brian Bologna does.
Oh! Hashtag snap battles.
Snap battles are August 16th, right?
Yeah.
And you're up against Bologna. Are you on it, Aaron?
No,
Will you? Have you been on it?
I've been on it before. Yeah,
Oh, you have been on
But,
it. Yeah, I won't ever do that shit, dude. Fuck.
Really?
Yeah, nah, fuck no.
See, that's a reasonable. That's totally reasonable because, like, if you're gonna accept the challenge of being on the snap battles, you're basically giving everybody on that show permission to say the meanest possible things about you.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did going into it. I don't write one-liners, so I was like, I don't know how really witty and clever I can be. So I'm just going to say the meanest thing possible that I can think
Can't
of
be
to
funny.
say about you. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be like within reason, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be like your wife fucking hates you and just gonna leave you, you piece of shit. You're never gonna be happy again.
And then just, yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
It'll be so different. They'll be like, you know what, dude? No, that was the shit. I like that guy.
Because you got to contextualize for the audience, like because it's strangers.
Yeah.
They don't know who these people are, so you can't just like throw around inside jokes.
Right.
That would be
Then
stupid.
nobody else gets it and you don't win.
Yeah.
All right. So are you doing your first? Because you just told your story. You do your bit that you're going to do.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna tell. I was gonna tell one of my lacrosse stories.
All right.
One of my coaching stories, because that's kind of like the realest. Actually, you know what? No, I want to talk about pizza over pussy.
I'm glad you did because Aaron's here.
What is that?
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, what is that supposed to mean?
Thrust over crust.
Thrust over crust. Yeah, so I have
Or crust over thrust.
So
Whatever,
you want me to
dude.
just tell it? Or?
You just tell your bit. I'm not going to tell
No,
your
no,
bit.
do your joke.
Okay, so
I'll let Kevin butcher it.
Yeah, let me
How do
fuck
I-
it up.
Yeah,
for
would you please? So part of what I have going on is I'm undergoing a revitalization of my health, and I'm taking care of myself. And part of that is saying no. Sometimes saying no to things like pizza, because when people might say no, Domino's always says yes. The dude at the end of the line at Domino's, they answer 100% of the time that you call. 100. Every time. Domino's always wants it. Let's just say that. So, my whole thing is that I need to stop putting... I got some fucked up priorities. When you start putting food above other things. When you cope with food, you're not going to have a good time. So what I'm saying is I need to stop putting pizza over pussy. I've been doing that for way too long. Right? Mm-hmm. It's true. It's you can't tell me none of you can sympathize with this. That's fine.
I'm sympathizing with you. I'm just letting you.
None of you have ever put the pepperoni on a pedestal?
No.
You never put the pepperoni on a pedestal? You never chose crust over thrust? You guys are telling me you never chose extra cheese instead of putting them hoes on their knees? You're telling me that you've never picked pineapple and Canadian bacon instead of sweet baby lovemaking? And then I also sometimes I go into a part about how, again, it's just like it's fucked up to I can't remember what it was because I don't do this part a lot. But I talk about how, like, when food fucks with priorities, sometimes I start to think that, like, I would take it from Gordon Ramsay just for the morning after breakfast. Like, just thinking about... like all the creative shit that he could do with eggs. Like think about the way like he could cook eggs in ways that you've never even imagined before. Dude. Like got some crazy contraptions for eggs. So yeah, that's just some real shit. I wanted to write a pizza joke that was also real. You know? Lots of puns.
Yeah.
Lots of puns, which are, you know, they're puns. I know. I get it. But it's, I don't know. That's when I have the most fun, and that's when I'm able to get into jokes the most is when it's actually has a connection to you. But I'm also a silly guy, you know? So, like, I don't want to go up there and, like, I'm not going to, you know, give some fire and brimstone, you know, crazy downer kind of stuff, but I don't know, that's the fun for me is like I honestly like there's so much stuff that I want to talk about that I have no idea how to yet.
I thought you were really good. I love it.
Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate
it. The bit itself
with some rhythm. I thought it was great.
It's funny because like sometimes like I know when a crowd gets into it, like I will get like
that requires
like,
crowd work.
real preachery with it.
I like your voice,
which is
that
fun.
You did.
Thank
good.
you. So yeah, that's pizza over pussy.
on the album,
P.O.P.
that's the title.
P.O.P. Pizza over pussy.
Aaron, you tagged something on it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's known for tagging jokes.
Pineapple bacon.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Over lovemaking?
I remember telling you that one, and I was pissed because you never even used it on stage.
I think I have that written down in my notes. I'm almost 100% sure you didn't give me that.
Yeah, because we were riffing, and I was like, pineapple and bacon, sweet, sweet love making. You changed it a little bit. Yeah, I specifically remember because I was like, use it. And then every time he'd go up, he'd say thrust over cross.
Say sweet baby love making? That's funny. What does that mean?
It means sex.
Look,
yeah, that's exactly
that would
what
be
it
like
means. With
baby,
no condom, hoping
sweet,
to make a child.
Yeah. Sweet baby making.
What's that one song?
But you can't say baby love making. You want to make baby love?
Yeah, no,
baby
but
making.
no.
Okay. So
sweet baby love making. It's all
sweet.
Yeah.
You're not making.
You're
not.
You're analyzing the wrong parts of the joke.
Yeah.
Sweet
Slip into that character.
love making, babe.
I like it when you sing it.
Over pussy.
It's a great bit. It's real funny. And you're right. When the crowd buys in, dude, it's so much fun just watching them build on each comparison that you make.
And that's when
Deep dish instead of deep throat.
I also have. That's good. I also have. That's really
Throws
good.
the mic down and it's over.
I had to close one box to open the other. And then the last one was. What was the last one? I had to close one box to open the other, and then I can't remember. I think that one was my favorite though.
Yeah, close the box. The deep dish, that's a good one
That's
too,
funny.
dude. Incorporate it. It's funny.
That was good. I loved it. Anything about blowing on it while it's hot, blowing things. I don't know.
Yep, see, I told you.
There's a connection.
Nancy's always do. She crushes tags.
I want that. I want that tag.
I want that. I want that
Now.
bad.
I want that cheese.
If you don't tell it, I'm going to tell it as you on the Freaky Friday show. Plugged!
I wanted to remember that last fucking tag, and I can't. I picked the Meat Lovers instead of a meat lover.
I'm laughing so loud. I'm sorry. It's funny, dude. It's funny. Pick the meat lovers instead of a meat lover. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I love it, man.
Making different choices,
dude. It's such a fun joke to tell. Like every time you tell it, you just
It's
have
relatable.
fun doing it.
That's when I have. I have noticed that the lowest common denominator for whether I have a quote unquote good set or not is whether I had fun, and I usually have fun when I tell that joke. It's hard when it's hard to be really passionate about something when people aren't grabbing onto it at first, and that's what I'm trying to figure out with that one is like really bringing people into it. And figuring out the right lead-in to pizza over pussy.
Well,
it's like
I think it's so good that you start with trying to be healthy or whatever.
one thing
that's kind of newish. because that wasn't
that's a
true
good
when I
start to
started.
it, I
I
mean.
appreciate that.
One thing I would do is
I think I'm gonna do that.
is give it like don't set it up so much with the rule of three, like with throws and goes is just keep going with them. Just like make it like a list. You know what I mean?
Pauses.
Yeah.
Nope.
Less
I would
pauses?
try just once, just literally just
let it build.
just to see what the reaction is. Just say
And
thrust and suppress, da, and just
Start-
keep them
yeah.
laughing.
And start from like least funny because they're all funny. You're safe there. Start with least funny to the killer funny at the end.
Because-
Which
One
is like,
did you
holy
guys
shit,
like the
how
most?
many more is this guy
I
gonna
like the
do?
cheese in the knees.
Cheese in the knees.
Yeah,
what do you?
that was good.
Extra cheese instead of putting holes in the knees.
That's funny.
That was great.
Do you have a favorite?
Man, the deep dish.
Deep dish instead of a deep throat.
I always liked
but
the
yeah, I like that one. I like the meat lovers is really funny, dude. That's really good too.
thrust over crust is my favorite.
I think
just because
also,
it's
do you think in the beginning when you first start off the joke, the more honest and real you can be, do you feel like that will get the audience into it immediately because you're legitimately being 100% real leading into the joke?
Well, so I'm trying to figure out a way to do that without, because like sometimes you get a close off audience and they don't want real, they just want to laugh. I'm not saying that's
Do you
like
feel that
true
way
most-
for real?
Well, I think that's part of like what I'm just figuring out right now, and I think maybe that's like a projection from myself onto other people a little bit. But sometimes you will get an audience that's like, we're here to laugh, we're not here to like hear about your life's fucking story. And especially when you have like 5 minutes, it's I'm trying to figure out how to like in a short period of time connect in that way, because I know when I have a longer set I can do it, but it's like the act of being able to just like at will kind of like enter that mode, get people into your brain, get them understanding what you're thinking and more importantly like what you're feeling. And so yeah, I think you're right, and that's something that, like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to do more with my comedy and do it in like a genuine, sincere way.
I would say one thing I would just try to do, because right now how you say it is you go thrust over crust. What I'm saying is, and you just do too much build up in that portion. I would try and come across aggressively, like I've been putting the thrust over the crust, the pineapple and bacon over sweet love making and then finish
That's good, too.
I'm opening one box and then go, and then that way you can maybe put in something else at the end there.
That's
but if
actually
you can
real
just
smart.
Because
you start off quick like that and like, oh shit, because they buy into the energy.
they know what you're going to
Oh,
say
I'm on
next. You
board.
don't have to keep telling them it's like da 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 da
Yeah.
da. It's like da da da. Just
you
go.
can hit a payoff quick where you're like 1, 2, 3. You do like 3 analogies real quick, and they're like, "Oh, that's really funny. We're into the energy. We're having a good time." And then you can even build on from there. You're like, or you can slow it down, be like this and this. They're like, "Holy shit, dude, this is
I'm
great."
gonna try that because every time I've done it, it's I draw it out, but I've gotten that remark a couple times that I should be quicker.
Quick,
through there.
that's.
So,
I think that's great,
Fuck
Aaron.
it.
That's awesome.
I think it would be awesome.
what do I have to lose?
but
Nothing.
you're right because you
Nothing.
keep
Not
sharing.
pizza, that's for sure.
All right, Aaron, your turn.
Yeah.
I was contemplating if I wanted to try something new,
No, you got to do one that works.
one that works.
Yeah.
All right, well, one that I want to improve upon because I tell it a bunch, and it's kind of at the point where I haven't found any new tags for it, is I tell a story about my mom when she told me that she was pregnant, because I'm trying to build more personal level as far as my comedy right now. And this was a true story where, I was the only child for 18 years, and then I turned 19, and my mom looked at me and she went, I could do better. Which is how I lead into it. And then basically what I talk about is when she told me that she was pregnant for the first time, we were in the car, and she just started crying. And right there I want to punch something up, and I've been saying that she just started crying, because women do that sometimes, but it never hits, because I guess it's too strong-armed or something like that. So I'm trying to change that a little bit, where I can have a little punch in the beginning. But she started crying, and she said, "Aaron, I'm pregnant." And I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. I'm 19 years old, you know what I mean? And I was in the car with her, she's crying, so I had to do something. So I just leaned in, and I was just like, hey, the light's green. We should go. We should leave. And then usually the crowd hits there, and then she kind of gathers herself, and she says, "How can you say that to me right now?" And I was like, well, if you want to have 2 accidents today, that's cool. But the light's yellow, so we should go. And it's insinuating car accident and also childbirthing, 2 accidents in one. So then after that, the crowd lasted that pretty hard, and I go into how she has a mom mentality. I don't know about you guys, but my mom always had the mom mentality. We're like, oh, you want some lima beans? It's like, I don't like lima beans. It's like, oh, really? I always thought you liked lima beans. Like, it's never the case. And so she was like, well, you said you always wanted a brother or sister. And I was like, yeah, when I was 9, you know? Like, that ship has sailed. Like, what are you going to give me now that you wouldn't give me when I was 9? A BB gun? How about a dad? And then that just hits him in the gut. And then what I've been saying at the tag at the end of that is, I walked home that day. Or I'll say, I always wanted to play baseball as a kid because no one to play catch with. But that's kind of dark. So that's the joke in a sense. Sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to tell it from start to finish.
No, that was
funny.
Yeah, well, yeah, that usually hits.
But you handled that situation completely wrong.
Yeah, I did. And I learned a valuable lesson.
You did walk home that day, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She was like, get out. Get the fuck out. But I don't know.
He was 19. He was like, actually, this is my car, Mom. You want to get the fuck out?
What I want to do is I want to punch it up more, though, because it's a personal story, but it's still a little too, it could be funnier, I feel like.
There's all right. The way I look at it, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's a million layers that can add to this story.
Okay.
Because it's true life. And you're 19 years old, you find out your mom is pregnant with a baby that you always, when you say it, you always wanted a baby sister or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was a fucking kid, now I'm 19, I should be on 16 and pregnant as a brother. Like, this is fucked up. There's just so many layers that I think can keep building on this.
Pregnant by who?
Yeah, right? There's so many ways.
There's been no one.
Have I met this man?
I haven't seen anyone around the house. I don't think we're even getting mail right now.
One of your friends.
Yeah, dude. But there's so many. Like, because the bit that you tell works, and it's perfect, and it kills when you tell it in clubs, and everybody laughs at it, because it is one of those things where it's relatable, because it's a real story, but nobody can relate to it, so they like hearing it from somebody else, right? I think there's so many layers that you can keep working on it and just breaking this thing down.
Like, make it longer?
Yeah, to where it goes from, like, a 2-minute bit to this fucking, like, 7 or 10-minute thing that you're talking about. Because now she's how old?
In her 50s.
No, not your mom.
My little sister's 9. Yeah.
So you've had all this time of you can even tell like the little pieces of she was born and then this, then this.
Well, one thing I talked about, I've only told it like once, but it is a true story, is when my mom wasn't supposed to have kids. Game, set, match. She just was supposed to be barren and that was it. And then I was born. I was the miracle child and she loved me forever, obviously. But then she had my little sister. She got knocked up again. And it was like, well, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just kind of, maybe you're just out there too much. But so one thing on top of that was,
maybe you're barren only when a guy wears a condom.
So she named me Aaron because I was supposed to be a girl. 98% chance. We don't have to get into details. But
that's a story in itself, right?
Yeah. I was supposed to be a girl, and my name was supposed to be Chelsea Celeste. Well, when it turned out being a boy, it's like she opened the birthday book of, an AARON.
98% a woman.
Exactly. I get real emotional during Love Actually.
So you got the first A name she picked.
First A name she picked.
Two
and then
A's or one A?
2 A's, because it was the first in the baby book. And then my little sister's born, and I remember, I was like, what are you going to name her? And she's like, I don't know yet. And then I remember it got closer and closer, and she's like, I think we're going to name her Cece. And I was like, Cece, what's that stand for? She's like, Chelsea Celeste. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Tell that in the story, dude.
I don't know. It's just, I haven't been telling much personal stuff until like the last couple months.
All right, tell that part.
That's
But here's
the rest of that joke.
I have a question to break it down. You haven't been telling much personal stuff. Why?
Well, my first year of comedy was just trying to be funny and just trying to, memorize it, just trying to have every beat, taken. And then, Richie was actually one of the people giving me some feedback, like try to set yourself up not as much as a newscaster, try to perform more as yourself, and I took that to heart. And then I started just kind of figuring out, like, I can be funny, sure, but like I want to be able to resonate with the audience and be more real as far as the personal aspect, because I feel like I have a lot of stories like that. So I've been trying to write more personal things, but it's harder because it's yourself, and like you guys are like, oh, you should tell that on stage, and it never really, I don't know, it just never really clicked for me to tell something like that on stage. I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't really looked at it from a, or
you're not ready to just tell it. You're not ready to be that vulnerable about that part of your life.
But I will. I mean, if that's what you guys think, Richie.
Well, That's up to you. I mean, that's really only a decision that you.
Do you think it's funny? I mean, I'll tell anything.
Yeah,
at this
I
point.
do think it's funny.
I absolutely. I mean, there's absolutely humor there, and that was your name, and it's not your name anymore. You know, you could talk about how like, no, I'm supposed to be Chelsea. Like, I'm Chelsea. She's not Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'm Chelsea.
And
As a
And then it's like your
26-year-old
sister,
dude.
your sister,
Dude, I'm Chelsea.
created your own identity crisis or something.
And now I gotta watch her fuck it up.
Yeah, I also
Like that's
like-
my legacy.
Yeah, she's fucking up my name.
I also like at the end that you could do like give me a dad, or you could just say someone to have a catch with, you know.
Yeah, that's a
catch.
little bit better. You're right.
Just someone to
I
have.
like, but I do either way. I think you're
Well,
right
if you
with
do
that.
want to change it, because I
opinion.
don't. Because I think that's a really funny part, but I know when I hear it and see it in front of audiences, sometimes.
Yeah, it either hits or it gets groans.
Well, sometimes they're kind of like it's uncomfortable. For
Yeah.
them. Like you just broke the news to them too harshly, and I'm very familiar with that feeling as someone who's done a lot of self-deprecating shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to move away from it, but like you could do it in a way that is more like, obviously you're poking fun at it, but obviously you're inferring a father type figure.
Yeah, so I could say, oh man, I would love to. What are you gonna give me now? You want to give me now? BB gun?
gun?
How about just
Somebody
to
to have a catch
just to
with?
catch a baseball? Let's just play catch for half an hour.
Someone to play catch with, huh?
Or how about someone to play catch with? Or maybe someone to pick me up at school on time instead of an hour and a half late. I don't know. Yeah, I could definitely work on that too. I think that, or if, say the dark one, but then have something as the third one. Maybe.
You do have to make it light. If you're going
Yeah, I
real
know what he's
dark,
saying.
You got to make it a little bit light.
Because that's something I've been working on too with that one. Is I know every time I tell it, they're either going to groan or they're going to laugh. And part of it was fun for me if they groan, because it's like if they groan, then how can I, get them back up? But what he's saying is true, because if I could just get it to where I don't have to worry about that, that would be nice.
Yeah. I love the bit in itself, man. It just has so many layers that I'm almost jealous to the point of like, you have this couple minute bit that's going to turn into this 10 or 15 minute thing that just crushes.
We'll see. You're giving me a lot of credit right now.
It could
but
last
No,
forever.
because it will. Because it's real life. And eventually, you're still new. You're 2 years in,
Yeah.
right? And like you said, the first year you're just trying to make people laugh. You don't know what you're doing up there, really. And then the next year you're like, oh, okay, I'm evolving a little bit. And you keep evolving. But eventually you get to this point where it's like, I'm going to talk about me. Like, I need them to know who I am. I'm not just bullshitting up here. This is my point of view. This is what's happened to me, and it's weird, and it's funny, and I'm expressing myself.
Well, and that's why I did it, because anyone can go up and be funny. Well, mostly anybody, right?
Yeah.
But not everyone can go up and they are funny. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
anyone can go up and just tell jokes, but not everyone can go up and say the exact same stuff that I'm, relating to, or like that you would be relating to when you go up and tell you know what I mean? And I think that's something that I'm trying to build on, is just having a repertoire of jokes and having a basis of, oh, this is Aaron Kyle Miles, and he is going to tell some stuff, that's going to actually be worthwhile paying to see, maybe. You know what I mean? There's certain jokes I have where I look at them now and I'm like, well, it's funny, but it's like, what does it bring to my set? What does it bring to the audience? They're just going to look at it and go, that was funny, but they're not going to talk about it after the show. They're not going to, oh man, that joke he told was, oh, tops. I'll never forget that vegetarian joke, So,
But it's true. But that's the whole thing with building your hour, building your act. I mean, you ditch jokes that you thought were great, but you're like, no, the more I evolve, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this bit that works, and I'm going to add to that and build around that, because this is who I really am, and that's where your act kind of comes from. But
I'm gonna take that to I'm gonna work on that joke. Try and extend it at least from 2 minutes to 5 minutes, and I'm gonna see if I can make that
that's
happen
a
by
fucking great
next
idea,
week.
man. Great idea to not even build it in a huge chunk. Just go, I have this. Let me add another minute or two and see what happens. And just keep, God, because that thing has so many layers. I'm
if you
so
want,
jealous.
I'll write it up and I'll email it to you. I'd love your feedback if you
dude,
want.
Anytime.
'Cause I'll probably write tonight.
I'm here for anybody, anytime, man.
You got me in the zone now. You got me in the mode. I'm just like, fucking. Just right.
With that said, everybody email me at no, don't. But yeah, we do have to wrap up because we got to get out.
Oh, really?
To a show.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
That
Damn.
time flew, right?
Fuck, this is fun.
I know. I'm sorry, dude. It's the most fun you probably ever had your whole life. Guys, thank you for coming on. right?
Oh yeah, thank you for
having
having us and periscoping and
Gracias.
tickling me earlier.
You tickled him?
He tickled me.
He got tickles?
Whatever, dude. with
He got tickles.
a rainbow flag.
That's the best way to get tickles.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you. Everybody come out Friday to see us do different people's material. I don't know why.
Yes.
It's fun as shit. It's free, and it's really only for comics. But everybody can show up. Who gives a shit?
And I'll be there also on.
Yes, you'll be there for
yeah, I'll be there.
Bronger's show. So
Yep.
everybody come out and see Aaron in the main room. Come to the side room, pop in, and see some funny stuff going on. Have a good time. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona. Stand up Scottsdale. Have a good night and a good week.
This has been another great presentation by the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You can find more information at 4eyedradio.com.